The 1996 NASCAR Winston Cup season, a long road of frustration for some.
He's just lucky I didn't knock him on his butt.
A year of disappointment for others.
I'm gonna show you something about momentum.
And a championship not put on ice until the last race of the season.
I'm in the wall.
This is the Hendrick Motorsports Museum, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, home of the 1995 and 1996 NASCAR Winston Cup Series champion teams, and home of the 1996 NASCAR Winston Cup Series Year in Review video. And while Terry Labonte was strong for a second consecutive week, so was Bobby Hamilton. And pit stops would tell the tale as Jeff Gordon beats Dale Jarrett and Mark Martin off the pit lane with a great stop. Gives the reigning champ a lead he would never give up. And finally, a victory in 1996. In fact, his first trip to the winner's circle since Dover last September.
We needed this so bad. It's been a tough couple races. We knew we had a lot of races left to go, and man, I tell you, I've been seeing the guys more. I wanted to make sure their morale wasn't getting down. I mean, I'm real interested in, making sure this team doesn't come in this year and fall on its face, and these guys did a heck of a job.
Okay, folks, next up, Garland to the track, too tough to tame. In the end, it comes down to a question of gas and who has it. Dale Jarrett and Jeff Gordon have the best shot at a win as the two swap the lead back and forth, doing some great battles for a top spot with just a handful of laps remaining. As far as fuel, Gordon can without a doubt make it all the way. Jarrett cannot. Gordon, believe it or not, winds up with another win. Like Earnhardt, he makes it 2 wins in the last 3 races, and in just 3 weeks, leads from 43rd to 9th in the points, thanks to his second straight win at Garland.
I never saved fuel one time. I mean, I ran it as hard as I could. I had to save my tires more than anything. So I don't know. I bet it's pretty close. If they say it's close, that means it's close. But that's what wins races. A great team like this, they can gamble. They can make close calls like that. Great pit stops all day long. I mean, consistency was there, and this is a great day. We're real proud of everybody involved, and it's great to be in Victory Lane in Darlington, man. This is wonderful.
Anyway, next up, the high banks of Bristol, and unfortunately, lots of rain. In fact, the start of the Food City 500 delayed 42 minutes because of the wet stuff. After having an awful final practice Saturday and making lots of changes Sunday morning, Jeff Gordon takes the lead on lap 107. Those changes by Ray Evernham and the Rainbow Warriors proved to be the right ones as Gordon dominates the race from there out. The race, however, is a different story, as during the cleanup of Darrell Waltrip's accident, the rain continues to come down even harder, and with the event being well past the halfway mark, NASCAR decides to call the race off after a 40-minute wait. The leader at the time of the red flag, you got it, Jeff Gordon, who claims his 3rd victory in the last 4 races, this one in a kind of a weird way.
This is pretty amazing. It's just not the same, I know, but it's pretty amazing to the way things have been going for us, and I can't believe we just won at Bristol this way. This is amazing.
There you see Jeff Gordon. Just 4 weeks ago, 43rd in points, now 6th, just a handful of points behind teammate Terry Labonte.
I was glad it was Jeff behind me because we raced each other clean, and he never got into me or nothing. And if he would have beat me on pit road, he would have won the race.
And Jeff Gordon finished 3rd. That's 6 straight top 3 finishes. He's now 2nd behind Dale Earnhardt in the NASCAR Winston Cup point standings.
Jeff Gordon all switched the lead back and forth throughout the afternoon. For the 2nd straight race, Jeff Gordon would start on the pole, this time for the Miller 500 at Dover. This week, though, his race trim was just as good as his qualifying setup, as he keeps control of things nearly the entire race. In fact, his only real threat is Dale Jarrett. The 24 car takes the lead for good at lap 372, passing Dale Earnhardt, and holds on from there to take the checkered flag nearly 4 seconds ahead of teammate Terry Labonte, who finishes 2nd.
We stayed out of trouble, got our way back up there, and that's what a good team does. They get back after it, and they make good, consistent pit stops, and they made it back up for us. Race it, I saved his butt, but I didn't. I think he saved mine. He got the car dialed right back in for us, and then the rest of the day was great.
And guess who's on the pole?
Well, let me see. It was Gordon the last 2 weeks. Could it be him?
How did you ever guess? Jeff Gordon, who gets his 3rd straight pole, 4th if you want to count the Winston Select. And once again, Gordon has one of the best cars come race time. Gordon's toughest challenge came from Rusty Wallace. When Wallace leaves the pits on lap 135, he loses the clutch and ends up 31st. From there on, it's all Gordon who dominates the rest of the race. This time, no mischief like there in 1995, as Gordon picks up his first ever win at Pocono, 4 seconds ahead of second place Ricky Rudd and third place Jeff Bodine.
You got to have respect for a racetrack, and I certainly do have a lot of respect for this one, and now hopefully it's got some respect for me. I mean, we've been fighting hard to win one here, and we've been close, and this is a tough track. You can't get the thing perfect everywhere on the racetrack, and so I think this is one track that a driver wants to win at.
Now it's on to Michigan, and Benny, guess who's on the pole?
Hey, that's a no-brainer. Jeff Gordon.
Not this time.
And Jeff Gordon, another great comeback. Disaster start. He's now third, 47 points behind Earnhardt. Jeff Gordon, a disaster start. We've talked about it over and over, but right now he has several victories and on towards that championship.
Pole sitter Jeff Gordon led the pack to the green. We move on to the fastest track on the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit, Talladega. Red flagged for a good long while, and with darkness approaching, NASCAR decides to make it a 5-lap sprint to the finish, which Jeff Gordon wins, holding off Dale Jarrett to the checkered flag, collecting his 6th victory of the 1996 season.
I tell you, this is an exciting win. I think one place that I didn't know if I could win at, I felt like, hey, I can win. I think I might be able to win on a road course. I might be able to win at Martinsville, but I was like, I don't know if I can never win at Talladega. So this is a really, really exciting win for us to take the points lead. I mean, that's just unbelievable, and it's unfortunate for Dale and Terry to have those problems. But, these guys did a great job. They built this race car, before Daytona in July, and it came here and was a great car here, too. And they really did their homework, and it was a lot of fun to drive from where I was sitting.
That 6th win for Gordon puts him into the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship lead for the first time all season, 9 points ahead of Terry Labonte. Benny, Jeff Gordon in the point lead, remarkable from where he started the year.
It's unbelievable. He had trouble in Daytona. He had trouble in Rockingham, the second race of the season. He was 43rd in points after the first 2 races, and now 16 races later, back in the lead.
Gordon leads the field to the green flag for the second straight year at the Brickyard, and early on it's a great race. Early on, Jarrett appears to have a dominant car. The $1 million appears to be within reach. The dream appears on its way to becoming true. But an overheating engine, and on his tail in the waning laps, Jeff Gordon. After working on Hutt for several laps, Gordon gets around the Circuit City car with just 15 laps left. Hutt gives it a good shot, but loses out to defending NASCAR Winston Cup champion as Jeff Gordon makes it 2 straight Southern 500s and 3 in a row at Darlington.
And we didn't have a great car on new tires. Hut Strickland had an awesome car on new tires. But boy, our car just kept on going, and I tried not to abuse it. And I know that, from experience of winning here 2 other times, what it's taken, that's to be smooth and consistent towards the end. And I'm pretty proud of the team and thrilled to have won 3 in a row. And definitely thrilled to have won my second Southern 500.
Benny, let's talk about Jeff Gordon, first of all, at Darlington. 3 straight wins.
Can you imagine? Too bad he wasn't going for $1 million because it looks like he can win at that racetrack, proving 3 in a row.
Martin's lead doesn't last for long. In fact, on lap 2, Jeff Gordon takes the top spot. He goes on to lead 168 laps, more than any other driver all evening. On lap 46, from the cool and short night race at Richmond to the very hot and grueling 500 miles at Dover we go. The only battle for Jeff Gordon, staying out front as Gordon dominates the MBNA 500, leading more laps than any other driver en route to a comfortable victory, his 3rd in a row at the Monster Mile. Because of his teammate's 21st place finish, Gordon is the new NASCAR Winston Cup points leader.
There's still plenty of races left to go, and anything can happen. We've been in a championship battle before. We know how easy it is to gain and lose points at this point, and with this many races left. So, we're really not going to think about that. We're just going to think about doing our job and doing the best job that we can, and that's what we did today, and it paid off.
So Jeff Gordon, with 2 wins in the last 3 races, is now the new leader in the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship standings.
On to Martinsville, and for the second time this year, it's the 43 car Bobby Hamilton leading the field to the green flag. Now this is a picture you'll see often when talking about the Haynes 500. Hamilton in front and Jeff Gordon in tow, not far behind, as the 2 circle NASCAR's smallest track in just that fashion for most of the afternoon. It's Jeff Gordon. Terry Labonte makes it all the way back to second place, but can't catch his teammate. Bobby Hamilton strong all afternoon, winds up third. But for Gordon, it's win number 9.
I tell you, this is a meaningful win right here. To win at a short track like Martinsville, wow, you know, you got to have a complete day.
But he finished second to Jeff Gordon, and that's got to be getting frustrating for him.
Yeah, they're running so well, but yet every week it seems like Jeff Gordon finishes right in front of them.
And so the lead continues to be nickel and dimed up to the point that it's 81 now between the two. The shine on Ted Musgrave's nugget of history goes away quickly, as does his car's handling. Musgrave starts on the pole, but struggles all afternoon, eventually finishing 19th. Wasn't long before the inevitable happened. Jeff Gordon takes the lead, and yes, the win. His third in a row, 10th on the season. More importantly, the very last NASCAR Winston Cup win at North Wilkesboro.
That's why I'm so excited, because I mean, this is North Wilkesboro. I'm not supposed to win at North Wilkesboro and Martinsville. I don't know what's going on. It's been crazy this year. But to be the last race, Winston Cup race that's going to be here, you know, it's like you feel sorry, but at the same time, you know, you're elated to go down in history in the record books. And I think these fans saw a great show today. That was one heck of a race all the way to the finish.
As we look at the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship standings after North Wilkesboro, how helpless does Terry Labonte feel?
Those wins will do it every time. Jeff Gordon on a rampage now leads Labonte by 111 and Dale Jarrett 182. Seemingly took a bad turn for Jeff Gordon, as he has a problem with loose lug nuts on the left rear, and the 1995 champ loses 2 laps in the pits on a green flag stop. His title hopes in serious jeopardy.
Keep working on your rhythm. You can get them. You can get them, Jeff. We can do it.
But in championship fashion, Gordon makes up both laps and eventually takes the lead on lap 108. Just an amazing performance.
Jeff Gordon, the Atlanta race in itself was a microcosm of his 1996 season.
The whole season seemed like the whole race at Atlanta, where, you know, we start off and bang, we get 2 laps down right off the start and have to come from behind. Then we've got one of the best cars where we can go out there and get 2 laps back. And now we're up there, you know, battling for the win, leading the race, but then at the end we come up this short. You know, I mean, that is our whole season right there.
And to put a finger on it, Gordon knows exactly the difference between his title run of 95 and his second place effort of 96.
95, nothing went wrong. I mean, it's like, other than maybe our last race at Atlanta, everything went our way when we needed it to fall in place. And this year, 96, it's like when we really needed it to go our way, it didn't. And, you know, that's just the way things work. Terry Labonte and that whole 5 team, they've been consistent all year long. They've done exactly what they needed to do. And you know, you got to take your hat off to them for that, because that's what it takes to win a championship.
Jeff Gordon was 13 years old when Terry Labonte won his first NASCAR Winston Cup title. Wonderful year in NASCAR Winston Cup Series racing, and we hope that you've enjoyed our NASCAR Winston Cup Series Year in Review video. For Benny Parsons, I'm Alan Bestwick.